Hey everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video here. Today we're going to be talking about the HUD layout and sensitivity settings of Ice Splinter. I know you guys have been asking about this for a long time now, so we are finally going to get into it. Let's just get started here. So here's my HUD layout. It looks a little messy because of all of the extra abilities like the cancel grenade and open door, all those things. I do play Three Finger Claw. I used to start off from basically like season 2. That's when I first started COD Mobile. From season 2 to about season, I don't know, maybe season 6, season 5, all I played was thumbs. That's all I played, and I was a thumbs player for the most part. And then I just started to learn how to better myself, and I asked myself, you know what, I need to challenge myself, get better, and I decided to go with a three-finger claw HUD layout here. So we're gonna get into it. So the first things first, I have on the when I have my thumbs on my screen here, this is how I hold it usually, like most people do. The bottom left is for controlling the joystick, looking around, movement, obviously. And then off to my right here, where the first ADS fire button. This is the ADS fire button because you can see the scope on it with the bullet mark. That's ADS fire. That is for ADS. And then I have my crouch button here and my jump button here. I like kind of having all three right next to each other because I'm able to like slide jump right here. If you see, I'm usually jumping or slide jump over and over and over again as I'm moving around playing in the game. And then I also have my reload button right here and my ADS button right here. So there's an ADS button and there's obviously ADS fire, which when you hit this button right here, it'll automatically, as soon as you hit it, it'll automatically switch from nothing into ADS fire on your gun. So I have everything right next to each other because I like keeping it simple, at least on my end, because I don't want to make things complicated when I'm playing the game. I try to make it as simple as possible. I know a lot of people have seen my HUD and have already copied it and screenshotted it. There's been a lot of great feedback from it, so that's why I'm making this video. And at the top left, I use my left index finger for hip fire. Hip fire is right here off to the left, and then off to the right is your prone button. If you guys don't know where the prone button is, a little backstory. I literally had no idea this whole entire time, back when it was like season 7 or season 8, I had no idea where this prone button was. And I didn't even know it existed for some reason. I'm not sure why I knew or why I didn't know about it, but I found out from somebody that told me about it, and I just literally thought I was a big bot because I was like, how did I not know that I didn't have this prone button here? So, because I was struggling with drop shotting and stuff too, and I really wanted to learn it. So, according to a lot of people, they think this is a very easy HUD for three finger claw. A lot of people, like if you have like an iPhone and you struggle like when you're trying to learn three finger claw, I highly recommend looking up something called guided access. And what guided access does is that it locks your phone entirely when you're playing a game, so that way you're not pulling down on your notification bar on accident. Because I used to do it all the time when I was playing, and I didn't lock my phone properly as I was playing, because I would be shooting the target and I would drag my finger, because I would obviously have my left finger up here just sitting and resting until I'm ready to hit fire or drop shot somebody. And most of the time, if I don't have it locked, I'll slide my finger over the hip fire, and instead of hip firing the target, I'll slide my notification bar down, and it just ruins everything because it pauses the game, and then it's just like interrupts your game and everything, and then you end up dying usually. So I highly recommend getting guided access. Look it up on Google. Very simple steps that Apple provides for you. And yeah, so that's something really to keep in mind if you're an iPhone player, iOS player, whatever you want to call it. And then on top of that, if you guys don't know where that prone button is, it's in your settings. We'll get into that in just a second. But I just wanted to go back real quick to the index finger. So a lot of people ask, why don't you do four finger? It's just not comfortable for me. It's personal preference, but you could choose however you want to play, obviously, in the game. It's personal preference. So you could do thumbs, you can do, some people use air triggers. I'm not a big fan of air triggers. I don't want to say it's cheating, but it's not OG, if you know what I'm talking about, as a mobile player. So three finger claw is my favorite. it's just the most comfortable for me. I could add forefinger and maybe like switch up like my crouch and jump for like maybe jump shotting. I don't usually do that. I feel like it's an in between of like jump shotting and drop shotting. Drop shotting is my favorite. I think it's the most broken control in the game. Saves a lot. Trust me on that one. So yeah, I like keeping my hip fire up here just because I can spread fire as I'm running around with my thumb right here on the bottom left, and it's just a lot of control. I really highly recommend using hip fire. It saves you in a lot of situations, and it's really broken if you can get used to it. Other than that, I like having my index finger and the two buttons up here right next to each other, just because like it's easy to maneuver. I know some people have it like diagonal or like top to bottom. Side to side just seems the most easiest because it's all about muscle memory. Muscle memory just meaning like your thumbs and your fingers will start to memorize where you're using. It's like so hard to explain. Oh, and then on top of that, over here off to the right, I have my spell ability here for like scout, ninja, defender, whatever. I just like keeping everything close. So this may not work out for some people, but I highly recommend this for like beginners and stuff that are trying to learn and become better at the game. Especially, this is, like I said, this is a battle royale layout. You could use it for MP. I usually play MP sometimes. But other than that, this is my HUD layout here. So let's go ahead and back out of here and go to my basic settings. Not MP, because I'm not an MP player, so I can't give the best tips on MP. But for Battle Royale, so yeah, just a tip here. Going back to the prone button, a lot of people are like, what is that prone button? The prone button is under Basic Settings. Go to BR mode. Go down to right here in the first section, off to your left, and it's called Hide Prone Button. Hold crouch to prone. Now, a lot of people have it checked because it's automatically checked when you first start the game. If you want that button to appear, all you have to do is uncheck. So basically just it'll look like this. It'll have it checked. All you have to do is hit uncheck, and then you go back to your HUD, BR custom layout, and this prone button, since I already have it set where I want it, this prone button will appear somewhere over in this area, I believe. So just a quick tip for you guys in case you didn't know where the prone button was and how it appeared on the screen. Other than that, I have tapped ADS, which is the ADS button for the bottom right. It kind of just makes it so that way, like as soon as you hold down this button right here, I'm not sure I keep doing that, but you go down with this button right here, tap to ADS, you just hit the button, it automatically switches you into ADS and starts firing right away. So that's why I have that button set to that. Pretty much everyone has it like that. Going over to slide, tap crouch while sprinting, always sprint. I have it set to max. A lot of people say like you can keep it at like 99 or whatever. But that's it for, oh, and then camera FOV, it's like for first person. I don't play first person, but if you're a first person player, I recommend bringing it up to like 75, which I think is the max, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like 75. It helps with like camera angles and whatnot. But I'm not an FPP player. I play TPP. So if you're a third person player, don't worry about this. Ignore it for the most part. And then going on to, let's see, audio and graphics, I just have low and max. It just helps with overheating and stuff. And unfortunately, my iPhone XR can't handle like medium and high. For some reason, I wish it did, but it does make the game very smooth when you have everything like turned off, like all these things. It's really unnecessary to have all these. It's just like cool features and looks for the game. So I like keeping everything on low, and then obviously max frame rates, because higher frame rate, the better your phone runs. And then sensitivities. So here's my sensitivity settings. This is obviously the second part of the video. So my rotation mode, a lot of people have it on fixed speed. So fixed speed just kind of already has it like adjusted for you and automatically set for you. But obviously I would take that off and try and get used to speed acceleration, because speed acceleration gives you this bar right here to control at your liking. It just really helps like to spin around really quick. I have it on max. A lot of people are like, how do you have this on max, bro? You're crazy. I have it on max because I want to spin around as fast as I can if someone's coming up from behind to attack me. and I want to kill them. So my goal is this right here, the rotation mode. Your rotation's 300 max speed, meaning as soon as someone's shooting from behind, your camera, if you have it on max, will instantly turn you around right away and it'll laser that target. So it takes a lot of getting used to. Trust me, I hated it at first, but a lot of pros told me to get used to it because it's the most broken way to turn around and kill someone. Highly recommend it. And then sensitivity switch, gradually switch while ADSing. So just like sensitivity when you're shooting from someone from from like hip fire to ADS, it kind of just transitions itself. And then camera sensitivities. So I have mine. These are kind of first and foremost. So I'm not taking anyone's like sensitivities here. Hawk's Nest, I was trying to look for sensitivities, and when I first started playing, because a lot of people are like, what's the best sensitivities, this and that. And a quick shout out to Hawk's Nest. I know he doesn't know me, but you've been a huge help to me for sensitivity settings. I've used your sensitivity settings the whole entire time I've played COD Mobile when I found you. And this is honestly pretty much his sensitivity settings tweaked a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty much set to what he has. I will drop a link to his channel and to the video of this sensitivity settings. Actually, not to the video, but to the website where he has his official sensitivity settings that a ton of people use. So I highly recommend go check that out, especially since I do technically have used his sensitivity settings since the start of my COD Mobile career. So third person sensitivity, I have it set to 55. First person view turning sensitivity sets to 68. Optics set to 85. Tactical scope sensitivity at 73. I don't really like this tactical scope is like you can have it at what I have, but in my personal opinion, tactical scope kind of got nerfed because now it has kind of like a holographic sight in it. It used to have a red dot, so a lot of people used it a lot more back in the day, but now everyone hates it because of the switch on it. 3 times tactical scope, 4 times tactical scope. I despise those scopes. They, in my opinion, they suck. Kind of a waste of time. Not really worth it, but obviously people have their own opinions, so that's just my opinion. Sniper scope sensitivity, I have mine set to 33. I figured lower the sensitivities, the better, like for like accuracy. You're not kind of moving all over the place, but this is honestly all personal preference. So you guys can tweak these if you want to, but these are like the best to my liking. And then there's obviously like 6 times scope, 8 times scope. That's like for like custom builds and stuff. And then firing sensitivity is pretty much the same thing. Yeah, it's the same exact thing. So I'll let you guys look at this really quickly here. It's all 55, 68, optics 85. And then, so gyroscope, I don't use gyroscope. A lot of people, some people use it. I heard there's some people that use it that are like broken. You can kind of like have a little bit of gyro, but I have it turned off. I don't use it. So, and then preview sensitivity. So the preview sensitivity is at the very bottom of your sensitivity settings. Preview sensitivity, if you guys don't know what that means, it's the little eye on your screen when you're playing the game that kind of has you like turn around, you can look around. I have mine set to 300 because I can like zoom it all over the place. Don't really recommend it, but if you want to get used to it, like I said, once again, it's pretty nice because you can kind of like look really quickly like behind you, kind of like the other sensitivity button. What else? BR loot settings. This is kind of just, you know, I have for medicine, I don't really like having hemostats picked up because I think the most important health items are first aid kit and adrenaline. Obviously armor plates too, very important. I have my hemostats set to 1 because I don't like having a ton of hemostats like in my inventory. Not a big fan of them. They're very nice certain circumstances. So I would recommend carrying like maybe a couple, but I wouldn't carry more than like 2 or 3. First aid kit, I have it set to about 5. I just like having it set to like high for adrenaline and armor plates because those are like my 2 main priorities, obviously. And then lethal and tacticals. Honestly, this is all personal preference, so I don't really want to get into depth about everything, but you guys could look at how I have mine set up. I don't use flashbangs, so I have it set to 0. Flashbangs really isn't the greatest grenade to have. I'd rather have a concussion times 100 over a flashbang. Concussions are like useful. Flashbangs, like, they don't really flash for long. It's like 2 seconds at the most, which really doesn't help much. But yeah, other than that, that's basically it. I don't think I missed anything. Audio is just personal preference once again, and that's basically it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Enjoy your day. Talk to you later.